recording. And so explain what our first blab is about.
Our first blab is about Italy and your experiences in Italy, if you ever had one, and your desire of coming to this country and visit it.
Yes, and we're probably going to go on for an hour tonight. It's Sunday night here in Italy. I know it's 3 o'clock on the East Coast in America, and so on and so on and so on, the variations of the time schedule. I don't know if anybody would like to come into an open seat, and even if you haven't been to Italy and you want to talk about potentially coming to Italy, we'd love to have your opinions. And, you know, it's going to be a very loose format, no questions, just, you know, talk about if anybody's ever been to Italy, their favorite cities, what they love about it, you know, and stuff like that.
Your curiosity about it.
And your curiosity about Italy.
By the way, can you hear us well? Because we have a microphone and...
Yeah. Give us some feedback on the side. Buonasera. Ciao. Dai, vuoi entrare? Tu sei italiano per quello che assumo. I think you're Italian. If you want to come in, there's an open seat. So if you want to come in and say hello. Ah, sì, dai, vieni dentro. Okay, we have Davide, who I had the pleasure of meeting recently on another blab, and Davide is coming in with Minicam. Oops, slipped out for a second. Let's see if somebody else wants to come in. Chef okay, hey, Chef Dennis, all right.
Hello.
Chef.
Ciao, Chef.
What's up?
I am in West Palm Beach, so I'm just thought I'd jump on. I saw you schedule this because I love Italy, although I haven't been in a while. But
well, you know, you have an open invitation.
I know. I'm working on it.
So, what if you were to come to Italy? What would your ideal Italian trip be like? What sort of cities? If you had to prioritize where you would like to go and what sort of locations you would like to see?
Yeah, almost anywhere you go, but I think the country, because the country is just more getting in touch with the food, the people, and the environment. Because when you go into a big city, you know, it's great, and I think the cities in Italy are wonderful too, but it's a different kind of atmosphere. I think when you get out and you're out with the people that are still, I don't know, I don't want to say rustic, but it's like instead of going to Miami, you go to a smaller Florida town and you just relax and take in everything. You know, you get to be part of the feeling instead of just watching it. So,
you know, Chef, we've just come back from the countryside, by the way.
About an hour ago.
And we were there with my two sisters and brothers-in-law. And last night I made with my sister bacala, ravioli with bacala.
With codfish, yeah.
And they were fantastic.
If you and Lisa were to come over, we would have a great time.
I know that.
We would mix the trip with cooking and visiting sites, locations, and stuff like that.
I was talking last night. We had some wine with some people here, and the woman was from Switzerland. She had lived 25 years, and she said, she loved to jump over into Italy from where she was. It was an easy car drive. And
yeah. It's very close.
It's very close. It's very close.
Just talking about the food and everything. But then when she kept telling me, if you want the best food in the world, it's in Switzerland. And I'm going, I find that hard to believe, but how?
Great.
Yeah, they have some interesting dishes, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not get in trouble with any folks who might be from Switzerland in here. They got the fantastic raquette, which we like, which is the cheese and the fondue stuff and all stuff like that. Yeah. So that's anyway. I would, let's see if somebody else wants to come in an open seat and join us for the conversation. Are you going to be around for long, or?
I'm going to be around for a little while. We're actually heading back in. We're heading into Palm Beach and talk about decadence and opulence. First of all, I saw hedges that were as tall as the telephone poles. I've never seen hedges that big in my life before. I mean, only in Palm Beach. So they want to block the world out. They just want to keep their own little piece of it to themselves, I guess. But
well, Betty, when we used to be in Miami, she would go to Palm Beach and did a couple of fashion shoots there, and she would come back saying it's like a whole different world.
Yeah, for sure. It was nice to see. So anyway, all right, I'm going to watch for a while, but I'll jump out. So
thanks
ciao.
a lot, Chef. Nice meeting you. Nice seeing you again. Nice meeting you. Nice seeing you again, buddy. Davide, hey, how you doing?
Oh.
Ciao.
Ciao,
Tutto bene?
tutto bene, piacere di conoscervi entrambi adesso come coppia.
Grazie. Tell us a little bit about you live in Italy. You live in Milan, I think, right?
Yes. Actually, I live quite to Monza, so not so far from Milano. And actually, yesterday and this morning I was in Valtellina for open wineries and cheese tasting. So it was really nice. It's something I would advise you to do.
What about your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite location in Italy, what is your favorite top region of Italy that you like?
No, I don't know. I visited some regions, of course. Not all the regions, unluckily, but you can easily find some very good in each of the regions. So from Puglia to I would say Tuscany to Lombardy, we also have something good, or to Sicily, where my mother comes from. So
what part of Sicily?
My mother she comes from a small village close to Caltagirone.
And your dad?
Caltagirone is not so far from Enna or Catania, I would say. Not so far from Etna, volcano.
The Mount Etna, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Milan? I'm very curious.
Sorry?
How did you come to Milan? Come mai sei a Milano?
My parents, they just moved here for a work reason like 40 years ago. Okay. And I was born here and I study here, and still not that bad. Maybe too much chaotic, and but still quite good. Yeah. Excellent. You're from Rome, or where are you from exactly?
No, we're in Milan right now. Where were you born?
I was born in Milan.
Yeah.
And we got married in Miami.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I dragged him here to after 2 years that we got married. So he's been living here since 1992.
Yeah, I know it. His Italian is also better than mine.
No, ma dai. What are you saying? I'm so happy that you joined, David. Really, really great. Really great.
So since there is quite a gap age-wise between you and us, it would be nice if you could suggest to people to your age, which would be the best part of Italy to go and visit for somebody,
on a first trip and a young.
For vacation, I would suggest Salento probably, but it's being crowded now. Yeah, every year it's getting crowded, and you find a parking for your car or just a spot of beach, but it's really nice. And
maybe not in August. Maybe
what?
Maybe not in
August. Definitely.
Not in August.
Definitely. I actually have a friend these days here in Milan, so I will probably do some aperitivo in Navigli.
Have you been to the expo?
Yes, I've been there last week on Monday. The first time actually there, because I was for 6-7 months in the Netherlands from February to October, from the February to the beginning of October. So it was an occasion to go there, and yes, I went to Expo. It was nice, again crowded, but still nice. Yeah, it was impossible.
Places are not crowded in this country.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing, man?
What's up?
What's up?
Hi, Kevin.
And I can't pronounce your name.
Nazim. I'm Nazim, and she's Betty.
Betty, where are you guys from?
We are originally. I was born in South America. I was brought up in I lived in Miami, New York. She was born in Milan, Italy. We met, got married, and then we moved to Italy. So now we're in Milan, Italy.
Oh, you guys know I live in New York City, actually.
I know you live in New York City. I know where you live. Have you ever thought of maybe coming over to Italy? Would you like to come to Italy?
I would, but it's very interesting, though.
Yeah, it
Especially
is
how the
super interesting.
original pizza was made.
That's where pizza was made. That's right. That's where pizza was originally made. Great.
I was
Great to have-
like, I love the break-oven pizza. It's so good.
Okay, and have you tasted anything else apart from pizza that's Italian? Have you tasted Italian ice cream?
No, I want to try gelato so bad.
Gelato's awesome, dude. But in New York, you can get gelato. I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking around.
Okay.
But I know
What part of New York? What part of the city are you living in?
I live in Queens.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was brought up in
my part because I'm at my aunt's house.
Ah, okay. Are you? What do you think about the New York Mets? Are you happy about the Mets?
I don't watch baseball. I only watch baseball when it's the Yankees.
Ah, you're a Yankee fan. Well, because you're living in Queens, obviously.
And I just followed you on Twitter, so.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Really appreciate it.
English, actor,
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yes.
Davide lives in Milan. He's Italian too.
Yes. I'm close to Milan, and actually, I was also about to tell my friends that we'll perform like a game on what day? A play and a game, or we will make some reading about books in Milan for Halloween. So I will let you know. I will let you know in case.
Cool.
Yeah. Like qualcosa come per un pugno di libri.
Per un pugno
like
di
a
libri.
group game or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
and Kevin,
let's let some more people come in and see maybe if somebody wants to tell us a little bit about Italy, huh?
Okay. Well, follow me on Twitter.
I will, Kevin. Thanks for dropping by. Super happy you dropped by, buddy.
Hello, Kevin.
Okay, so let's see. Hillary, are you still around? If anybody wants to tell us a little bit about their Italian experience, and if you want us to take off the recording, we can take it off if the recording is a problem. So
Chef Dennis just left.
Yeah. Kevin just left, and then I think Chef Dennis is still. No, he just left because. Mark, why don't you come in for a second?
Okay, I just tweet, so maybe the few followers I have, very few, can join. Oh.
Yeah, no, well, it's Sunday afternoon, and Mark's going to join us for a second. Sunday afternoon, everybody, we picked this time to try to catch some people on the weekend, and also maybe some people in Australia.
Yeah, it's probably the best time to do a Blab.
I don't know. It's so hard to figure out what the best time to do about because we both work, so to get both of us.
It's so hard to figure it out for the best time for Italian people because there's not so much about Italians here.
No, there's not
so
many Italians on Blab. You're right, Davide.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So
Not
where
yet.
are you from, Davide?
Sorry?
Where's your dad from? Your father?
From Calabria.
Calabria, bellissimo.
Yeah. My surname is quite. When I meet Greek people, they say, "Oh, but this seems like a Greek surname," and it was probably.
It sounds like a Greek last name, but it's not.
Yeah.
The Calabrese.
Actually, because probably from that region, some Greek people just went to Calabria, and it's also not so common to find in Milan. I think that, just few relatives and not so many more.
Cool.
Oh,
here comes Mark.
You tweeted? Nice.
Okay, Mark. Hey, buddy, what's up? Great to see you dropping by on a Sunday afternoon.
You too. Very good to see you.
Hello, Mark.
Nice to meet you, David and Betty. Very nice. I just heard you talking about times. I know right now on a Sunday, and Nazim, you know this too, it's probably just a lot of men watching football, American football right now, so they're all caught up in that. The women might be shopping or doing, I don't know what else, probably talking on Blab with their girlfriends.
So tell us about your Italian trips. You've been to Italy, right?
No, that's one of many countries I want to. I've been to Spain, Portugal, England, and many others, but between Italy, Greece, some new friends now, they're in the Netherlands that I've met just through Blab. Would be nice to go visit. And I think it was maybe a week ago, Nazim, we jumped on and there was a photographer friend of mine. Her and I both said, well, next April, let's go for a week. Let's plan on that. So springtime might be the time we come over. So
I think springtime is probably, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a good time.
Springtime is the best.
Good.
And what would you think of if for your first trip to Italy? What would you like highlight cities or things that you would like to see?
You know, I'm a little like Chef Dennis there. You know, it's the people, it's the food. That experience, to have that memory is important. Even being my first time, if I do see some of the major sites, great. But something about the people living there, their experience, and it can be any smaller city. I've had friends go. The obviously fun part of, which is busy but beautiful views, the Amalfi Coast there in Positano and all that. And but I'm open to
any suggestions.
Really, either side of the country. Wow me. I mean, between food and wine and little shops and just the experience of. By then, I'm really pushing myself to have a good grasp of Italian. I'm listening on smartphone apps just to kind of have the reminder every day. Fortunately, I'm blessed. I come from a family. My mother's from Uruguay, so I grew up with Spanish.
Wow.
So anything Latin-based just makes it so much easier to pick up.
Yeah, the Spanish helps because I was born in Venezuela. So knowing the Spanish really, when I got here, was, although my friend, people make fun of me in the sense that they say that I speak with, when I speak Italian, it's like, hey, it's a little bit Spanish. So there's a little. Yeah.
I get the feeling I'll do the same thing, but
I don't mind. More gestures. We use more hand gestures, probably.
Yeah, we do a lot of hand gestures.
Very true. I'm actually excited. I was told Nazim, it's been about a month now. I was over just across the Alps there a little bit in Zermatt, and I so wish I could have just taken a small flight or train or something and just visit Milan real quick. I think Milan, the northern part of Italy, kind of initially fascinates me, or at least intrigues me to say I'd like to test there and see what it's like there first before I go to the south. I don't know why, but
excellent. Well, another thing is Venice is also very close by, and Venice is a place that's really, in my opinion, it's fascinating to say the least. You know, it's a really good.
There's always something special in Venice, and the buildings, the channels, and it's just like a bubble. It's different.
Some people hate it and some people love it, but I think I find it to be really, really fascinating. Really fascinating. Yeah. Good, Mark. That's great, man. That's so I'll jot you down for spring next year.
Spring next year, yeah. I just got to keep Kristen, my friend, keep her motivated and excited. It's just before her busy wedding photography season starts, and I should have many things in plan for that. That seems to be a good time of year right now, at least for my plans. That would be good for a week to come over.
Excellent.
Perfect.
And what about your favorite food? If you had to pick your choice of Italian food from Italian, because in the States there's a lot of Italian cuisine that you can find some decent Italian cuisine going to certain restaurants or certain locations. Not the Olive Garden, obviously.
No. Of the few local restaurant owners who brought in some Italian recipes, which I really enjoy, but I think
don't say fettuccine Alfredo because Alfredo sauce.
No, I do not want.
They don't exist here.
I'm a big kind of lover in that way of something. When someone can make that initial foundation a great sauce, it seems like everything just flows nicely from there. And I tend to lean towards tomato, that tomato-based, that red base.
Tomato-based sauces, yeah.
I'm interested to see what, you mentioned bacalhau before. I first got introduced to that in Portugal, fell in love with it, loved it. So a seafood introduction, I would love to taste it, to just experience the difference in flavors, because of the few people I've met in Blabs and in these little talk sessions, and Nazim stepped in on a couple of them. People have talked about how they have certain allergies sometimes. They can't eat things here in America, in the States.
Right.
And yet just traveling, just get outside the borders and they go to a different, and it could be Italy, it could be just about anywhere. And they didn't have to worry about anything. They didn't have these reactions that they do back home. And it just really astounded them. And I thought, well, there's where we've gone too far in a lot of things here in America and have a lack of goodness and things. And just to kind of get back to the basics again and feel that in Italy or France or wherever is just an awakening again. So, but for food, yeah, it could be a pasta, but a great sauce, you know, some different seafood.
But are you a dairy eater, or I mean, would you try things like, I don't know, frogs and snails and things like that?
Yeah, no, I have no hesitation trying a lot of different things. Again, when something's prepared in a way where a combination of flavors, just because someone said, oh, by the way, there's frog in there. Does it taste amazing? I'm eating it. Let's go.
Bravo.
So I'll for that.
Years ago when we met, I wanted to cook rabbit for him. And we were in Miami, and it was almost impossible to find a rabbit, because when I was asking for rabbit, people was looking at me like, hey. And I finally found one in an Argentinian
Argentinian butcher store.
That kind of makes sense. If it's not wrapped in some plastic and have the familiar name that they're used to, they're just going to be like, what? Rabbit?
I just see Mia joined in. Mia, if you want to come into the open seat and tell your story about your rabbit experience.
And it's funny you bring up rabbit. I was shooting pictures at a wedding reception last night, and the father of the groom mentioned how he raises rabbits and he gets a lot of influence. He has a New Zealand breed. He was very knowledgeable and talking about how in such a small animal, you know, not a lot of meat, but just the amazing, he was going into nutritional values and things like that. But he loves the flavor and he loves preparing it. He says, that's pretty much my diet. I eat some potatoes and some kind of gravy and rabbit. I'm like, wow, that's all you eat? He's like, yeah, I just love it. I can't get enough of it. So funny that you brought rabbit up. So.
Yeah, Mia tasted some rabbit.
Mia had some rabbit. Mia had some, jump in, Jane. She cooks all the time Italian. Okay, so if anybody, Jane, if you want to come into there's an open seat, and if you want to come in and tell us about
I am sorry, I have to leave because I have the theater rehearsals from in 10 minutes, so I really have to go.
Enjoy your evening, and thanks for joining us. It was great, man.
Ciao, a presto. I'm looking forward to meet you here, and I will.
We have to do a live meeting, which is not really a hurl. It's a blab burl, or I don't know what we call it.
Why not?
Okay.
Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
Ciao. All right, great. So anyway, Jane, I have wind internet. Oh yeah, wind internet is terrible. Yeah, it's too bad. Jane says she has a bad connection. So
it'd be nice to hear Mia's experience.
Yeah, wind is she might be on like an ADSL. So, but let's give it a try, Jane. If you want to come in, we'll see if it works. We'll figure it out.
Jane or Mia, if they have. I know Jane has plenty of experiences, obviously, but hear Mia's.
And then also Mia, I think Mia's in here. So if you here we go. Jane's going to give it a try. Okay. Here we go. See how that goes.
Am I with you?
Yes, you are, Jane. Ciao.
Buonasera, com'è?
It works.
It works. It's a miracle. No, I have wind infostrada, and it's the worst in my area.
So what part of Italy are you in?
Lago Maggiore.
Bellissimo.
We're friends.
Non è male.
We have very close friends in that area. So tell us about your favorite part of Italy. I mean, what is your favorite, if you had an option, to live there for the rest of your life?
Oof, tough choice. Come on, we are talking Italy in here. You're joking? I would say Florence. I mean, I could live in Uffizi Gallery or wherever. I mean, I could live inside the Medici's old castle. That's it. I could camp in there. No, not living in there. I could camp in there. Give me a tent and leave me in there for 5 years. I would be happy.
Wow.
I'm going to give you some props for that.
Yeah, that's talk about selling it there. Yeah, wow.
I know, but then it's a very huge building. But you're right, the collection there is fantastic. And then, what about food-wise?
Absolutely.
Food from Italy. If you had to, la cosa che ti piace di più, la cosa che ti fa impazzire.
Where to start? I'm on North, and this is going to sound a bit strange, but I love orecchiette, for example. That's like my favorite pasta. And most of the things which come from South, I love all kind of peperonatas and I don't know, I love lasagna and rabbit. Rabbit is great.
Rabbit.
And bolito. Oh, now it's time for bolito.
I love bolito. And let's explain to the folks at home what bolito is. Bolito is boiled meats.
Okay.
And what happens is that you have all different types of boiled meats. She makes some amazing bolito. And then you have the sauces that go with the bolito, la mostarda. And it's typical from the Cremona area, no, Jane?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of my, and it's perfect for the winter.
It is, because it's slow cooking and you leave it on the stew for hours and the smell is all over the house and you can stick inside literally all kind of meat you want. And I love to put some leek inside and carrots and potato and bunch of vegetables. I like it that way. So
Mi sta entrando una fame solamente con la descrizione.
Yeah, true.
I'm already getting hungry just by listening to Jane's description.
Yes.
We're not going to eat tonight, but we had pasta today with my sister. I was saying before that we were in the countryside with my two sisters and the brothers-in-law, and we had risotto with trevisana, which is a red salad, and dried mushrooms and gorgonzola. So it's something that you don't want
to
Fantastic.
I'm hungry now. I love polenta with gorgonzola. I love to make polenta with gorgonzola.
Polenta's fan. I love polenta too. Have you been to the expo by any chance? Out of curiosity, I mean,
actually, I didn't have a chance to go. I was out of Italy. And I came back late, and then Blab somehow showed up and took all of my free time. So actually, really sorry I didn't went. My mom and sister were here to visit me, and they went, and they said it was amazing experience.
Yeah, it's very, very.
Unfortunately,
the only bad thing is that the lines are really crazy. The lines are super, not
if you go in the morning.
If you go early in the morning, okay.
Is that now the expo is in Milan?
The expo is in Milan. Yeah, it's on the outskirts of Milan, but it's really close by. There's a subway that takes you there.
Yeah, subway takes like 10 minutes or something. It's really close. Yeah, I know that lines are not big in the morning.
Mark's already thinking. Okay, so I'm going to Milan. I'm going to Venice.
I'm writing this down. Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the countryside and eat some. Then I'm gonna have
But the expo is going to be over.
Well, the expo will be over, but don't worry. We'll compensate with other things.
Wait, it's not over already? Not supposed to be over first?
2 more weeks.
At the end of October.
Oh, then I will go. Oh, thank you for reminding me about it. I was thinking that I missed it.
No, you still have 2 weeks.
Oh, perfect. Then I will definitely go.
Back to kind of the eating, and you talk about bolitos. This is the time of year. I've seen this with other food-rich and great recipe countries. It reminds me a little of Spain. Whatever's in season, that's what's focused on.
Yes.
So if it's bolitas right now, or if it's a certain vegetable, then many things are made around that because that's what's fresh and good right now. So the same here in Italy then.
That's very similar. Yeah, we tend to be, we don't like pomodoro sauce and stuff. You have it all year round, but the pomodoro changes there's a specific period when it's better than in winter, So, but it's most of the food is very localized in the sense that you bolito, you can have it for summer, but it's not typical. to have it.
It's not typical, but it's hot, so it doesn't make sense to have a hot soup when it's 40 degrees outside. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And it takes you like at least 2 hours to make it. So
you have to cook it for a couple of hours or so. You don't want to have fires in the house.
Yeah.
Hot, so.
No, there's a lot of great stuff.
actually, I will show you something.
Echo, she's probably cooking something, Jay. Anyway, let's see. Okay, Alicia, vengo anch'io.
Alicia.
Come on in. Come on in.
Alicia.
There's also still an open seat if anybody wants to come in and talk about Italy or their Italian experience. La mia cucina. Eccoci qua.
Do you remember this?
Eccoci qua.
Betty?
Bravissimo.
You should know this probably. It used to come in the newspapers like back in 70s, I believe.
It looks
Back
like.
in 70s. Yeah, you were collecting all of these little ones and then you give them in cartoleria and they put it together for you. So my granny was a good girl and she collected me all 12 pieces and I'm loving it.
Bravissima. Brava la nonna.
Brava la nonna, exactly.
Hey, Alice, thanks for joining. Where are
Grazie. I want to speak in Italian. Devo praticare.
Vai.
I'm actually at church.
Cool. Joining us.
I'm volunteering today.
That's fantastic. Have you been to Italy?
Ho vissuto lì 5 anni.
Dove?
5 years.
Dove?
Fra Siena e Milano.
Bravissimo.
Sì.
I'm so happy you're joining us today.
Oh, thank you. I'm always following Mark. He interviewed me last week, and I saw you were speaking of my favorite country, so I had to log on.
Thank you very much. Are you planning on
Thanks.
by any chance?
We just left. We were there in July. So again, next summer, actually, we're going to try it September. It was way too hot this year.
Yeah, it was super hot here. It was super hot.
Yeah,
But then next year, right?
Next year, for sure. It's mandatory. We have to.
Alicia, I'm planning spring, so I might miss you then.
Oh, spring is beautiful. Yes. The goal is to ultimately live there, of course.
Really?
Yes.
So my trick is I married an Italian.
That
So is that on my list to do there first week in spring? Find an Italian.
Good luck with that.
Oh, really?
Mark, we should practice.
We should, because I've been telling them I use a smartphone app, and I'm even stepping in once a week on Saturdays. There's a lady that lives in Nice, France, and she teaches French now. So I'm just kind of listening in on her blabs. So I'm trying to pick up both of them right now. And I told them I'd be very strong in my Italian by the time spring comes around.
Wonderful. Yeah, I would love to. I need to practice, so I would love to work that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how did you end up coming to Italy? What was the reason you came to Italy?
I went as a student, and then I stayed and worked as an illegal alien in Milan for 5 years.
Got away with it for 5 years. Man.
I did.
Do I have to pause the recording?
Right, I know.
Too late.
A long time ago. Yeah, the agency. I was with an agency that had some, a bit mafioso. So they were.
Oh, okay.
I was protected. Yeah.
I would think Betty and Alicia have a lot to talk about and similar things that they do.
Wow.
Betty, what's your background?
Yeah, for those that don't know, Betty is a makeup artist. She's a makeup artist.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, I worked in Milan in the 87 to 91, 86 to 91.
Wow. Long time ago.
It didn't change much. Let me tell you that Italy tended not to change.
So true. It's so true. I still went back to see my old agent, and they're all still there. It's like home.
Cool.
Betty, Nazir, tell me where you are. You are around the Milano area also? Or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. So you're the only people who are close by me. Look at that.
I know.
There's like 5 people on Blab from Europe. That's it.
That's it. There's not that many Italians on Blab.
Don't go too many. We want to love just the ones we
interesting.
see. Let's just keep it, nice. The people we love. No, not too many.
Jane, where are you based?
I'm northern from Milan. I'm almost on border with Switzerland, Lago Maggiore. I'm in that area. I'm there on the lake. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not Milan. We are missing many services, which they have, but okay, what you can do.
Well,
It's beautiful.
We don't have the good air. We don't have a lot of things.
A lot of sacrifice.
We don't have a fast internet.
Yeah, the internet.
Good air, fast internet. I think I'll go with good air. Milan
or Rome, the internet, the rest of the country is like, when we're in the country, we cannot do anything.
Which is kind of nice, actually.
Okay, if I want to go to, I don't know, some bigger shopping mall or something, it's like 30 kilometers away from me, probably. Something proper and big, so I need to go in Varese area. 20 kilometers, not 30. Or we don't have a food delivery service, which Milano have. We don't have that. We don't have many things. I mean, we're missing things. This area is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's great for vacation. To live in here, it's a pain. Trust me, it is a pain. It's gorgeous to come, spend 10, 20 days. Fresh air, beautiful view, everything is great. But if you want to actually live in here, it's pain. And the train system is disaster, and I don't want to go there. Italy is great. Yeah. Let's go back to that. Great kitchen, great food. Actually, I was thinking to make some tripa e fagioli.
Tripa e fagioli. Yeah, tripe. The funny thing that you bring up, Jane, when I mention tripe, people kind of like go and say like, I don't know about tripe. Not too
I know.
Isn't that easy to make a mistake with that, though? In the cooking, you can very easily have tripe, and then someone who doesn't know how to prepare it correctly, and it turns bad easily. It's not difficult to prepare, is it necessarily?
Okay, no, it's not.
I don't think that it's difficult. It's difficult to find the good one, because they either wash it too much, so it's a chewy thing that doesn't have any taste.
Right.
Or, on the other hand, if it's not cleaned enough, then it can be a little heavy.
For us, it would be the equivalent of chitlins.
Betty?
Yeah, I got Mia's.
I tend to buy the one which are not too white.
They shouldn't be too white, because that's what I was saying. Sometimes they wash it too much, and then it's chewy and it doesn't have any taste.
Exactly, because they treat it.
Ciao, Mia.
Ciao, Mia. Thanks for joining tonight.
Ciao, Mia.
Anyway,
I'm going to sign off too, because
you gotta go, Lish.
I'm going to go. Yes, back to volunteering.
Am I pronouncing it
English?
Yes, you are. I just followed you, so I'll be stalking you a bit.
Keep in touch, please.
Okay.
Talk to you soon. Bye, Lish.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, I've had both good and bad tripe or tripa, and it's you can. It's just. It was either washed too much or it was, whatever the preparation. I was like, at least I know the difference now when that's done well to chewy, nasty kind of.
But
it needs to be a little bit of chewy.
True, but
when my mom does it, I don't know, it's fantastic. It tastes wonderful. When I do it, I try my best. It's not as good as her tripa. I don't know what she does.
It's never as mom wants. I know.
I try to follow the recipe exactly like the way she does, but it's not the same.
I think all moms hold back that one or two secret stuff that they're not sharing. That's like, can't be better than mine. I'm just
all the tricks. No, but your mom's kind of bizarre because she's like, when she calls her for a recipe, her mom's like,
It's a little bit of that, and then for a while, she's a little bit generic.
Yeah, that's
but she's cooking that for like 30, 40 years, and for her it's a little bit more of this, a bit more of that, so long. There's no way she don't have written down recipe. It's never as mom one.
Don't even know if you could write that down. It's just got to come from the feeling of her just knowing.
I know.
Exactly.
Anyway, DJ
Yeah.
Sherry is asking, have you heard of Francesco Buzzarro or Rocco Ventrella? Not really.
She's going to have she runs a great jazz lounge show, Sherry. She's going to have one on here soon. And these are Italian artists that she's going to interview on her show real soon.
Wow.
She's
Awesome.
great.
Hey, Sherry.
Sherry's
Awesome.
great.
So Sherry, if you want to come in and maybe do a promo on that, even if we're talking about Italian, we're talking about Italian experiences in general. Hi, Don. Don just joined us. Don, if you want to come into the seat,
Hello.
an open seat, if anybody wants to come in and say hello. We're having a great conversation with Mark and Jane. And
So what are
Jane,
your two?
I just met Jane recently. I mean, I might have seen you in a Blab somewhere, but I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think quite early we.
Yeah.
I
I was always Casa Chiesi, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's Nazim." It's like, but then today I decided to change it to Betty and Nazim, which is, a good
I like that.
It's better, Casa Chiesi, especially because you had that key for your avatar. It looked like some kind of business, and for example, many people avoid to follow businesses. They're thinking you're gonna sell them something. I prefer this actually.
Hey,
Ciao.
Sherry.
How are you?
Good. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Yeah, what time is it where you are right now?
Where we are right now, it's
It's
9:30
9:30 p.m.
Well, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. We're discussing Italian experiences. If anybody's been to Italy, their favorite places, and also we also went into food, which is automatic when you start talking about Italy.
Well, I've never been, and I have a slight fear of flying, but Italy is on my bucket list if I ever do get to have one of a lifetime trips, and Italy is on my list.
Excellent.
So, but now I've just been sitting here listening and just enjoying all of it. And like Mark says, I will be interviewing. Well, I've already interviewed Francesco Buzzarro.
Okay, what type of music is he? A musician?
Guitar
Player.
and flamenco guitar as well. And Adam Del Monte, he's half Italian, and I forgot the other half, but I'll be interviewing him on Thursday.
Okay, do you have it scheduled already?
I do, yes. I have them scheduled already. And Rocco, I think I'm interviewing him the 26th or the 27th. I can't remember, but they're all on my profile. They're all already scheduled.
Excellent. If not, if you can also, I invite you to put also the link in here for the scheduled Blab if you want.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But now I've just been sitting here listening, and you guys were talking about tripe.
Tripe, correct.
I think we might cook it a little differently than you guys do, but you like you said, when it's not cooked right. When you get it right, and you have that, and then it's like you try it again, and it's like this isn't the same. Somebody didn't know what they were doing, but God bless them.
Do you have any other type of Italian favorite food that you like?
Just the usual,
The classics. Pizza?
Yeah.
Tiramisu?
Yeah. Oh, well, my sister makes a killer tiramisu.
Really?
And it just melts in your mouth. And the only way I can have it is with a shot of espresso. That's the only way I'll eat it. The only way I'll eat it.
I'm with you on that one.
We get our coffee beans roasted from a local roaster. So our beans are never older than 48 hours. And
Nice.
So we get the pure essence. And once you have an espresso the right way,
there's no going back.
No going back. It's just like,
You see, I'm not.
I'm sorry?
No, please go.
It's just, it's one of those things. It's like when you get everything the way that it's supposed to be, you're always on that quest. From that point
I know what you're saying.
You're always on that quest, and but you'll sit there and you'll try everything because you're hoping that this is going to be that, take you back to that original taste, that you've experienced, but you have more disappointments than anything. It's just like, really? again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay. So you try not to set your hopes up too high, but you can't help it because sometimes you just accidentally stumbled over the right one, the right espresso, someone who knew what they were doing because you've had so many bad ones. So you're kind of like just in here going, this isn't going to be any good either, but I'll give it a shot. And then it's like you get it and you're just like, oh man, we got to remember this place, you know?
Well, it's funny that you bring this up because here in Italy, typically espresso, the coffee is always phenomenal. But the news that she does, you don't know about this news that I just read yesterday, is that they're going to open Starbucks next year in Italy.
What?
No way, really?
And all my friends are like, oh man, Starbucks. And I'm like, I know.
You know what?
I'm sorry, I'm excited. I love Starbucks. I don't
know
see it as
some people
coffee.
like
That's not
Starbucks.
coffee. Starbucks is not coffee.
No,
it's a drink.
Exactly.
It's just a drink.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's just
coffee. It's a variation on the theme. Yeah.
Exactly. And I love it. Honestly, I love Starbucks.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do. I mean, Italians can hate on me. I know they will.
No judgment, no apologies here. I just know I always look for something that's going to be a little better tasting, more coffee instead of the drinks.
Well, the funny thing is that the owner of Starbucks, there's an interview that I read, his inspiration was Milan, the coffee that he had in Milan.
I remember that now. I've read his book.
That's what convinced him to open Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know.
But you see, when I make tiramisu, you mentioned tiramisu earlier.
What city are you in, Sherry?
I'm in Dana Point.
Dana
in
Point?
California. In California.
Okay.
I'm on the West Coast. Southern California, West Coast.
Okay. Jane, did Jane just leave us by mistake? She
disappeared?
She disappeared for a second. Are you still there, Jane?
Oh, she's not in the room now. Huh.
No, not in the room. Well, it's Beta Blab.
Oh, here she is. Here she comes. No, I agree. His name slipped my mind, but having read his book, it took him a long time to get that to actually work, that Starbucks whole idea. He went through 300, 400 different potential people.
It was quite unique for America. I mean, they started in Seattle, you know. I used to live in Miami, so in Miami we always had the Cuban coffee.
Right.
Which is the cortadito, which is like
super sweet
to the top level. You know, it's like, you know, when you have a shot of that the whole day, you're like, okay, I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. Yeah.
Well, you know, just with the espresso alone, my sister used to have an espresso catering company, mobile catering company. So, you know, she bought the espresso machine, had it calibrated. You know, it's not something that you take lightly. You have to do your homework. You have to understand how the machine works, the pressure. You got to understand the quality of the beans, and your roaster needs to know what they're doing. And so we would do corporate events at their holiday parties because they wanted something different at their holiday parties. You have all the people drinking their alcohol and things like that. Sure. But when you tell them you have an espresso catering service, they jumped all over it. So you know, we set up like a little coffee bar, you know, and everything. And they would just line up for the espresso. Number one, it was new. It was like, wow, this is the first time I've ever seen one of these. You know, we would spend hours talking about the machine and everything that it does, because most of the time you just see it on the other side of the counter. You know, you don't see it up close and everything. And so, you know, we're tampering it. We're, you know, got the pressure going and everything. We got the frother going and everything. People just love the sound of the frother going off, you know. Popcorn in a popcorn machine in a movie theater.
I love that expression of face, like, what is she talking about? It's espresso, for God's sake.
They would love it. And then because the beans were freshly roasted, the taste is, you can't match it. And
I bet a bunch of them had never really had an espresso, had they? They thought maybe they'd like to, but it's like, it sounds like something and then first time they tried it with you, at least they had a pretty good quality one there, yeah.
Exactly. And it's smooth tasting, and it gives you that real good taste of what coffee is. And they would sit there, and these were like avid Starbucks drinkers. You know, they would show us their Starbucks membership card and everything. And they said, I go to Starbucks like 4 or 5 times a week, and mine never tastes like this. You know,
of course it doesn't.
Well, we end up educating them about all in the beans. It's all in the beans. The beans that we used a lot of times, like I said, were no more than 48 hours old. If they were even older than that, it's because either an event canceled on us, you know, or we just might have overbought by 1 or 2 pounds. Not much. But we would never use those beans when we went out. We just saved those for the house. But whenever we had an event, our beans were never than 48 hours old from the roaster. Because that's where all of it is in the quality of the bean and the roaster.
There you go. You know, we were planning a while back on doing a show just about coffee, Italian coffee pots.
Oh, you should. Oh, yeah.
That would be an interesting thing to talk about. The Neapolitan coffee, and then the way they make coffee in the south in Puglia with the ice cube in it. No, that would be quite interesting.
That would be interesting.
Nazim, tell Americans what we call macchiato, please.
Macchiato?
What is macchiato? See.
And macchiato is basically the coffee which has
just a little bit of warm, foamy.
Yeah.
Milk. That's it.
But all together is something like this.
Very bigger than espresso.
Like a shot.
It's like a shot. It's a shot, yeah.
And in America, macchiato is something what used to be this huge, more or less, like a bunch of milk. Like you're calling macchiato, it's something what is dotted, dirtied up. Yeah. So it's basically coffee dirtied up with milk, like have a spot on, and then you go in America and you get this massive pot of milk, basically with a little bit of coffee. I'm loving that. The macchiato is the biggest difference between Europe and America.
You're sitting there going, what is that?
Yeah, it's macchiato.
It's a hot milk. That's it.
Now that we're in the subject of coffee, which I think goes perfectly with the Italian experience, have you always noticed? I don't think you have this in America yet, but Jane knows what I'm talking about. The baristas, when you come to a bar and you have a cappuccino, they always do a little heart on it, or they do the little tree.
Yeah, a little design.
They do the same over your place, Sherry?
Yeah.
They do it here too.
Awesome. And the guys always kind of like, I do the best. It's like, you know, their little heart thing. And I'm like, dude, it's like, relax. It's just a coffee.
It's a cup of coffee.
I'm like, can I have my coffee now? Stop playing with it.
Just stop playing games with it while you...
Just give me my coffee already. The one thing that I always had a hard time making was a cappuccino. I could never get the foam right. And I would just try. And it was just, my sister's like, you'll get it. It just takes time. And I never could get it. But, you know, I tried. If people come up and ask for a cappuccino, I said, I'll do my best, okay? I promise you the flavor will be there.
I was going to say, the flavor's going to outweigh any kind of design.
I said, I'll do my best.
Betty Nazir, are you drinking from cafetera in the morning? Mocha?
Yeah. No, I have. I'm
from cafetera, you're taking?
Yeah.
No, straight shot. Actually, 3 shots of espresso in the morning.
My big problem is
3 shots.
My problem here in Milan is the office where I work at, my studio. I split it with a guy from San Francisco, and he's been living here for years. And he's all of a sudden one day he comes up and goes, "Okay, guys, I'm going to get the American coffee pot." I'm like, "Dude, are you kidding me? The American watered down coffee pot?" And he goes, "I need it. I need to go back to that." I'm like, "No."
You're embarrassing me.
Some habits will never die.
Yeah.
I have American coffee in the morning.
Yeah, she has American coffee in the morning.
Really?
Yeah,
because
when I'm in America, I'm trying to come back home just to have our coffee. Wow, good for you.
No, but I make it with Italian coffee.
Big difference there already. Yeah.
She waters it down.
She likes a little watered down. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're...
And it's just because I want it to last longer, and I cannot drink 5 espressos in a row. Otherwise, I'll be
wired all day.
Not sleeping very well.
It's like
Well, everyone, I just wanted to pop in real quick. I have to run over, get ready for my show. But it was wonderful meeting you, Betty, and Nazim, and Jane, and Mark.
Pleasure,
honey.
I'll see you over there soon.
All right. I'll see you guys.
Great meeting you. Great meeting you.
You too. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see, what time is it? Oh, we're going to do another 5 minutes then. You know, I was going to do about an hour here. If anybody else wants to come in for one final talk about their talent, experience, or ideas, there's still an open seat. This is our first official Blab.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've never, and I think it's a fun one. I mean, to talk about Italy, the subject matter is quite interesting.
I was going to ask you some of your favorites now that obviously born and raised there, Betty, but now so many years there for you, Nazim. What's a favorite for you? What do you enjoy, food or visit or, yeah?
To visit, to me, it's very interesting. I'm really obsessed with Venice. I have this little dream that she knows about. I would love to have a little apartment, not necessarily in the city, but a little bit outside towards Biennale, a little bit outside of the Venice area, because I think it's a fascinating city. And
Mestre is a good place.
Mestre, bellissimo. But I go there a lot because since I'm involved with cruise ship design, they're all over on close to Mestre, that area. So I do go there quite often. Food.
You're involved with the cruise ship design? I apologize for interrupting. With the cruise ship design, you said?
Yes. I am a consultant for a company that designs cruise ships.
That's very interesting because I'm working for a chain of hotels and the cruise ships. That's why. That's really interesting.
That's right. I didn't make that connection before, but that's true. Yeah.
That's a hell of a coincidence. And then food-wise, what is my favorite? Focaccia di formaggio.
Yeah, you probably never tried. It's typical from the Liguria.
It's typical from Liguria, and it's focaccia that has a cheese inside of it. It's amazing. It's really...
Sounds amazing.
Like schiacciata or focaccia?
It's similar to la schiacciata, very similar to la schiacciata.
I love that.
No?
No?
It's
focaccia.
Anywhere else. It's a very, very thin dough.
Dough, yeah.
Dough with cheese inside, soft cheese, and some other.
And it's thin like this, like a finger altogether, right?
This thick.
La metà di un dito. Half a finger.
It is to die for.
It is to die.
Is that a favorite of yours too, Ben?
Is it your favorite?
Unluckily, everything is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Betty, tell me just, are you making it with potato or not?
Huh?
With potato in a dough or not? Focaccia with potato or not?
Patate, no, just flour. Just basic flour.
It's water and flour.
Water, flour, and...
I just got a recipe from Genova, from some friends, and they say that they're putting potato in a dough. Patate when they're making it. To stay like juicy and fluffy, and I wanted to try. They say it's from their grannies. That's why I asked you. Did you ever try it? I did not, honestly.
I know that they put boiled potatoes in the pasta dough.
Yeah, in pasta. Yeah.
Le trofie.
No.
La pizza. Okay. Have you ever tried, Jane? Talking about Genova, have you tried farinata?
No.
It's fantastic. We can do a whole show just on food, but that's for another day.
And even thinking of just food and the space, the smells of everything, I think those basic things like how the water tastes different, how a flour or something, a dough can taste different. Yes. Those would stand out the most to me as like those basic foundational pieces of food that just obviously you would add to so many other recipes. It's just like that's what's making such a difference that I would enjoy so much.
Good point, Mark. So I think I already got you lined up for next year and some ideas of where we can go. And
good. We haven't. This is a whole another 10 blabs easily. Wine. Don't forget the wine, obviously.
We haven't even touched the wine.
I know. We didn't even get into that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Or cheese. You want to tap into cheese?
Anyway, guys and girl, Jane, Mark, really want to thank you for showing up and helping us out on this Blab, because at the end of the day, that's, everybody comes in. It's a fantastic format.
My pleasure. It's great to meet you.
Thanks for everybody who joined in and watched, and it was a lot of fun. And have a great Sunday.
We'll do it again.
See you about a week or so? Once a week or how soon?
I don't know. It might be a week thing. We don't know yet. We're thinking about it. This was the first one to test the waters because Betty's not very familiar with this. Is her first time on Blab. But do you like the format?
Yeah, I like it. I like people coming in.
That's what we'll want to do more is just keep telling people through Twitter, and then I'll tell all my friends. Obviously, I mean, who would not want to learn more about B, it's going to be food, or a beautiful place in Italy. Come on, there should be 20, 30 people here waiting to get in right now.
Thanks, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.